come to expose my sin. And Elijah said, give me your son. Took the son to the bed and said, God, revive this boy. And the boy lived. And he gave the boy to the mother. And the mother said, now I believe the word of God in your mouth is truth. It was after that that God said, now I want you to go back to Israel. I want to show my power to the people. Elijah came, appeared to a servant of God, told that servant, he said, go tell Ahab, the king, I'm in town. That one said, so you tried to kill me. They've looked for you in every country in the world. And when the king of that country said you are not there, Ahab make them swear that you are not there. Now you ask me to go and tell Ahab that you are here. And before I come back with Ahab, you will have disappeared. And then he will kill me. Elijah said, no, that won't happen. I will be here. So they went and got Ahab. And when Ahab saw Elijah, he said, wow, he that troubleth Israel. And Elijah said, no, it's not me who is the troublemaker. It is the sinfulness of you and your household that is the source of trouble in Israel. But this is not why I'm here. I'm here to show you that God reigneth. Let's meet. There's going to be a contest. My God and the God of your wife's father want to compete. It's an open air show. We want to see whose God is real. That one said, that's easy. He went home and told his wife. He said, guess who's in town? He said, who? He said, the troublemaker. Elijah is around. Why don't we grab him and kill him? He said, no. You want to show off his God. So let's show him how powerful our God is. So the date was set. The contest will take place on Mount Carmel. When they got to Mount Carmel, there's 450 on this of the prophet of Baal, and there's just only Elijah. And Elijah said, this is what we do. We want the God who is alive and well to prove himself. See, it's very simple. That's what God has always been saying. When Gideon was called by God, God told him to sacrifice. You will see that it's not by accident what Brother Banky says. I will show you how giving is the culture of the kingdom. How what you give reveals what your heart contains. But that the problem with the church is that we manipulate people into giving. We threaten them into giving. In the New Testament, there's no threat. That's why God let you know. God said, I swore by my holiness, I will no longer be angry at you. If you give anything to God, without your heart being in it, God doesn't even want it. So what God did is, when he commanded Gideon to go and rescue the people of Israel, he gave Gideon an instruction. He said, this altar of Baal that is in your father's house, I want you to tear it down and sacrifice using that altar. And Gideon obeyed God. So the following morning when they discovered who destroyed this altar, and they discovered it was Gideon, they wanted to kill Gideon. You find that in the book of Judges, maybe around chapter 7. And they wanted to kill Gideon. You know what his father said? His father said, hold on. If this thing we've been worshiping is the real God, let him fight for himself. If anybody touch my son, we kill that person. And everybody said, that is all true. If it is a God, let him defend himself. And you know the rest of the story. Nothing happened to Gideon. The way the Bible makes mockery of some of the things we call God, the idol we serve, is amazing. The Bible says, how dumb can you be? You go to the forest and cut down a tree. You bring it home and use part of it to cook your food. Then you pay somebody to carve an idol. And you bow down to that idol and you say, save me, help me. You bow down to something that cannot talk, that cannot see, that cannot move, that cannot eat. You have to even carry it, yet you call it a God. So here's another contest of God, trying to allow the people of Israel to see the foolishness of their ways. So Elijah said, this is the contest. Get a bull, kill that bull, cut it into pieces, and sacrifice it to your God. But there will be no fire lit on the sacrifice. Let the God that is real bring fire down from nowhere and consume the offering. So he told them, since you are many, you are 450, go first. So they killed the bull, put the bull on their altar that they've erected, and then they start screaming. They start chanting. They start calling on the name of their God. They start cutting themselves. They start doing everything. And after a while, Elijah started messing with them. He said, shout a little louder. Maybe your God is on vacation. Shout a little louder. Maybe your God is sleeping. Shout a little louder. Maybe your God is he has just taken a trip. Maybe we answer you. They shouted, they screamed, because it's a dead God. Nothing happened. But when the Bible said, in the time of the evening sacrifice, that at the time of the evening sacrifice, that means, that's why it's so important for you and I to know the word of God. Elijah didn't just do what he wanted to do. There is a time and a synchronicity to the things of God. I don't know if any of you watches basketball. Now they are calling it March Madness. The college basketball season is at its peak now. The national championship will be crowned in the next few days. There was a show I watched on HBO last year. There's a college in Indiana called Baylor College, Baylor. It has a student population of 4,000, just 4,000. 2 years ago, they were in the national championship. They lost by 2 points to Duke. Last year, they were in the national championship again. And they went and interviewed their coach. See, sometimes you might think I'm insulting you, but I say I don't beg you to come here. Because if you know what God has placed in your hand and what God is going to do, you are not moved by what you see. You are controlled by what you know. Yes. This young man, he was 26 years old when he finished from college. I think he read pharmacy. He has a good job with a pharmaceutical company in Indiana. But he sat there and realized that what do I want to do with my life? What has God gifted me to do with my life? And he realized that he's making about $40,000. They were asking in that interview, say, as a 26-year-old, how much were you making? I was making enough, about making $40,000. In 2006 or 2005, the economy was still good then. It was like, yes, I got it made in the shade. But I realized, what do I want to do with my life? So he resigned. I can imagine what his mama and daddy said to him.